In the news, federal government explore ways to resuscitate AJAOKUTA Steel Company. Court orders federal government to pay NNAMDI KANU 500 million naira, return him to Kenya. British Prime Minister SUNAK set economic stability agenda in his acceptance speech. UNILAG student NWALI emerges new African champion in SCRABBLE. And ADIDAS cut ties with rapper KANYE West over anti-Semitism comments. This is the MLC TV News Hour, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Khadijat Mohammed. Nigeria's ambassador to the Russian Federation, Professor Abdullahi Shehu, has said that the federal government is exploring ways to resuscitate one of Nigeria's largest assets, the AJAOKUTA Steel Company, with potential Russian investors. Shehu made this known in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, in Moscow, stating that Russia had always been very good technical partners of Nigeria. Shehu said that resuscitating AJAOKUTA Steel Company was one of the agendas of discussion between Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari and Russia's President Vladimir Putin when they met during the first Africa-Russia summit in Sochi, Russia in 2019. He said that although the Russian company, under the then Soviet Union, built the steel plant to over 90% completion before they left in 1983, the federal government has strategies in place on how the company would be revived. Shehu, however, noted that it would be wiser to engage the company that had an understanding of the setting up of the steel plant to resuscitate it. When asked on the alleged privatization of the AJAOKUTA Steel Company by the federal government, Shehu said that the government knows the best policies to put in place to manage all its national assets. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, decried the indebtedness faced by Nigerian diplomatic missions across the world. He made this known in Abuja during the inauguration of the Presidential Committee on the Review of Number and Strategy for Resourcing Nigeria's Diplomatic Missions Worldwide. According to a statement made available by the Director of Press, Office of the SGF, Willie Bassi, the committee has the mandate of reviewing all previous reports on the establishment of foreign missions and measures taken to effectively and economically manage Nigeria's mission, and to also identify challenges facing those missions and make appropriate recommendations on their sustainability. While inaugurating the 13-man committee, Mustafa said the report of the committee would enable the president to tackle the causes of the critical state of affairs of the diplomatic missions and their impact on the image of Nigeria in the international arena. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation stated that the lingering indebtedness being faced by the foreign missions has affected the nation's integrity negatively. The committee was given a 3-month timeline. In his acceptance speech, the chairman of the committee, Ambassador Martin Uhomoibe, retired Federal Permanent Secretary, thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for the confidence reposed in him and the members of his committee to review the Foreign Mission Service to reposition it for effective service delivery. The Federal High Court sitting in Umuahia, Abia State, southeast Nigeria, has ordered the President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government to pay 500 million naira damages to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi NNAMDI KANU, for his forcible extradition and extraordinary rendition from Kenya. The report has said that the presiding judge, Justice Evelyn Anyadike, who gave the judgment on Wednesday, October 26, 2022, said that the federal government and its agencies grossly violated KANU's fundamental human rights by illegally renditioning him back to Nigeria without due process. The court in its ruling ordered the federal government to return the IPOB leader to Kenya, where he was before the June 19, 2021 forceful disappearance from the East African country. The verdict is coming barely 1 week after the Court of Appeal in Abuja declared KANU's rendition to Nigeria illegal, saying it did not follow due process and violated all known international treaties signed by Nigeria. The appellate court declared that the federal government had lost the legitimacy to put the IPOB leader on trial. It further quashed all 7 counts of terrorism charges preferred against him by the federal government. For the case in Umuahia, NNAMDI KANU had, through Aloy Ejimako, his special counsel, sued the federal government, challenging his abduction and rendition from Kenya. On politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has released the timetable and schedule of activities for the Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi governorship elections. This was contained in a statement signed by the National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee (INEC), Festus Okoye. INEC revealed that the governorship elections for these 3 states will be held on November 11, 2023. According to the Commission, this decision is in fulfillment of the requirement of Section 28, Subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022, which mandates the Commission to publish the notice of election not later than 360 days before the dates fixed for the elections. Similarly, Section 178, Subsection 1 and 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, mandate the Commission to conduct such elections not earlier than 150 days and not later than 30 days before the expiration of the term of the last holder of the office. The tenure of the incumbent governor of Imo State ends on January 14, 2024, while those of Kogi and Bayelsa States end on January 26, 2024 and February 13, 2024 respectively. The statutory notice for the elections will be published in the 3 states on November 14, 2022. Party primaries will be held from March 27 to April 17, 2023, while the online portal for the submission of nomination forms by political parties opens at 9 a.m. on April 24, 2023 and closes at 6 p.m. on May 5, 2023. The final list of candidates will be published on June 9, 2023, while the campaign by political parties commences on June 14, 2023 and ends at midnight on November 9, 2023. We go on a short break. We will be right back.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. On foreign news, the new British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has promised to place economic stability and confidence at the heart of his government's agenda. The 42-year-old of Indian ancestry was on Tuesday appointed Prime Minister by King Charles III after their meeting at Buckingham Palace. Sunak, who was also named First Lord of the Treasury by the monarch, took over from Liz Truss, who resigned after holding the position for 49 days. Delivering his first speech in Downing Street as Prime Minister, Sunak admired his predecessor Truss, but noted that she made some mistakes. Speaking about his manifesto, the Prime Minister mentioned a stronger health scheme, better schools, safer streets, control of borders, protecting the environment, and supporting armed forces. He promised to place economic stability and confidence at the heart of his government's agenda. He acknowledged the work he had to do in the difficult moment the UK was facing after COVID-19 took a toll on the former imperial power. South Africa says it will allow a sanctioned Russian oligarch to dock his super yacht in Cape Town. The $521 million vessel, which belongs to Alexei Mordashov, an ally of Russian leader Vladimir Putin, left Hong Kong earlier this week. South African opposition leaders had urged the government to seize the yacht called the Nod. But the spokesman for President Cyril Ramaphosa said he saw no reason to comply with Western sanctions. Western countries and their allies have imposed sanctions on more than 1,000 Russian individuals and businesses in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Ramaphosa's government has so far avoided directly criticizing Russia, abstaining in several UN votes that have expressively condemned the war. Pretoria has also called for a negotiated settlement to end the conflict. On Monday, Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill Lewis, a member of the opposition Democratic Alliance Party, urged officials to block the super yacht's entry, writing on Twitter that there could be no place in his city for accomplices to and enablers of Putin's war. It is unclear whether Mordashov is actually on board the vessel. Speaking to local media on Sunday, Hill Lewis suggested that the billionaire was traveling on his yacht. But last week, a spokesperson for the oligarch told Bloomberg News that he had been in Moscow since his yacht arrived in Hong Kong. On sports, RB Leipzig and an impressive 3-2 victory over Real Madrid on Tuesday in the Champions League to inflict the holders' first defeat of the season and flex their muscles ahead of a decisive showdown against Shakhtar Donetsk next week. The German side will qualify for the last 16 with a draw against the Ukrainians in their final group match on November 2nd. And this victory means they are still in with a chance of ousting Carlo Ancelotti's side for top spot. It leaves Leipzig on 9 points, one behind Group F leaders Madrid. Chelsea manager Graham Potter was delighted to seal progress to the Champions League last 16 with a game to spare after a 2-1 win away to Salzburg. The victory extended Chelsea's unbeaten run under Potter to 9 games. Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi, in vintage form, both scored twice as Paris Saint-Germain quashed Israel's Maccabi Haifa 7-2 on Tuesday to secure a place in the last 16 of this season's Champions League with one group game to spare. The wins means PSG have qualified from Group H along with Benfica, although it will go down to next week's final match day to decide who advances in first place and therefore benefits from a theoretically kinder draw in the next round. Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola admits they have a problem with penalties as they seal top spot in their Champions League group with a 0-0 draw at Borussia Dortmund, despite Riyad Mahrez falling from the spot. Borussia Dortmund also went through to the last 16 with a draw, so both sides will be happy with the result. Other match day 4 will be played Wednesday night. Nigeria's under-17 women's national team, the Flamingos, on Wednesday lost to Colombia in a penalty shootout to reach the final of the under-17 Women's World Cup in India. The game ended with no goal from both teams without the extra time and settled with a penalty shootout. The all-conquering Scrabble contingent of Nigeria to the 14th African Scrabble Championship in Lusaka, Zambia, will arrive in the country on Wednesday. Nigeria stamped its authority again at the 2022 edition of the tournament, which featured 86 Scrabble players from 10 countries, winning its 13th title in 14th edition of the championship. A third-year student of health education in the University of Lagos, Enoch NWALI, emerged as Africa's new champion and Nigeria's new prodigy with a sensational win in Lusaka. NWALI topped the pile with 23 points after winning 24 games and drawing 1. He was followed in second place by compatriot and former world champion Jigere Wellington, who finished with 1,302 points, while Omosafe Prince completed Nigeria's top 3 dominance in third with 965 points. The 26-year-old won gold at the last National Sports Festival and at Noga Games. He has been consistent with this stellar performance and is now among the world's top 10 going to WESPA ratings. On entertainment, clothing giant ADIDAS has cut ties with rapper Ye, known as Kanye West, saying it does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. ADIDAS' Yeezy brand collaboration with West was put under review after he showed a White Lives Matter t-shirt design at Paris Fashion Week. Days later, the rapper posted an anti-Semitic comment on his Twitter account. ADIDAS said his products will be pulled from sale with immediate effect. The sportswear brand had previously said the Yeezy brand collaboration with E was one of the most successful in the company's history. Cutting the partnership means ADIDAS will make a net loss of 270 million euros in 2022 as a result, it said. Ye, who has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, had previously accused ADIDAS of stealing his designs in a now-deleted Instagram post. In a statement, ADIDAS stated that it does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. Ye's recent comments and action have been unacceptable, hateful and dangerous, and they violate the company's value of diversity and inclusion, mutual respect and fairness. He accused Gap of not honoring terms of their deal, including failing to open standalone stores for his Yeezy fashion label. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has described the late former head of service, Engineer Olarewaju Bisiriu, as a dedicated and committed man whose contribution to the growth of the state remains unquantifiable. Governor Abiodun, who paid a condolence visit to the home of the late former #1 civil servant in the state, in company of the Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyodele, and other government functionaries, expressed a deep sense of loss, adding that the death of Engineer Bisiriu came at a time when his wealth of experience was more needed. According to Governor Abiodun, Engineer Bisiriu was the head of service who received him when he came into office on May 2019, and he continued to be a jolly good fellow even after his retirement. While also praying for the repose of the deceased soul, Governor Dapo Abiodun assured the Bisiriu family of the state's support at this trying time. The first son of the deceased, Olarewaju, who on behalf of the family thanked the governor for the visit, described his late father as a man who has left a great vacuum that will be difficult for anyone to fill. Late Engineer Olarewaju Bisiriu was survived by his wife and 3 children. And that is the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at this same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, MLC TV, like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, Twitter at MLC TV1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, advert and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. It's MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Khadijat Mohammed. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Thanks for watching. Good night.